Let's talk about the Australian 2025 election. Now, it's important because if you're living in Australia, elections should be something that you should be interested in because it decides the fate of the economy, the fate of the country, and lots of things that are happening. Now, my interest is actually on migration, right? Now, it's important because who is going to be able to get into that seat, the new prime minister would have huge influence on what happens with migration, with housing, with many things in this country. Now, the future of migration in Australia is crucial in this stage because we have the Liberal Party and the Labour Party. Now, we also have other parties in this question, but one of the major parties you see, like in the US and all of that, we see in Australia as well, the Labour Party and the Liberal Party. Now, the Labour Party has actually, is the current government with the Prime Minister Albanese's government. And we also have the opposition, which is Peter Dutton, which is from the Liberal Party. Now, we have seen so many of their interviews here and there and all of that, and different ones and all of that. Someone said I should invite the Prime Minister from to have a podcast with me for on behalf of the African community. Well, I don't know, but if he sees this video anyway, in any way, that's fine. All right. So, but one of the things I can say is that Australia is a diversified nation. Australia is a great nation and is a country that we're privileged to be in. Now, one of the things I want to also say is this. For a reason with migration, if you look at the Liberal Party so far, Liberal Party with migration, it has actually been a net low migration. So we don't see a lot of pro-migration with Liberal Party. But when you come to the Labour Party, look at the history of Australia so far. The Labour Party has done well with pro-migration. We understand that because of the oppositions and all of that in this particular government, there have been a little bit of tweak here and there with migration and all of that, because there have been reasons to say that allegedly that maybe that most student visas were making shortages of house in Australia, making the prices of house skyrocket. There have been an allegedly stuff. You know what I mean? So another point is that there are so many things that has come out from this opposition government towards the Labour government, causing them to put a lot of stringent rules on migration and all of that. And this thing, we have seen how the ripple effect, and even the Australian education minister have cried out saying that these rules are something that in the long run might not really all go well, allegedly. Now, these things are some things that I hear say anyway, but the truth is this has made the Labour Party to, try to fix some things here and there. For me, so far, personal opinion, this Labour Party has been a good one so far, but I believe that there are some new rules, new regulations that are bringing into the economy that I believe that will also help us out as a country and as a nation. Looking at the picture so far, looking at history, we can see both from the Labour Party and the Liberal Party, from the migration perspective, which one actually is pro-migration here. And we can see that the pro-migration here looks like the Labour Party. And we're also seeing that the Liberal Party also have a point when it comes to migration, and they have in the past done really well. But the Labour Party has actually been consistent with doing well when it comes to migration. We understand that there have been a little bit of hiccups with the 2020 after the COVID-19 pandemic and all of that happened with the migration thing. Lots of influx, looks like it's uncontrolled, and allegedly saying that maybe the student visa was the reason why there were lots of house shortage in Australia, allegedly, which is still under considerations, and this has led to a lot of stringent rules on it. Now, I will not want to repeat myself, but believe you me that this election is important. It's important to not just the future of Australia, but it's also important to the future of immigration in Australia. So if you're a prospective immigrant watching me from any part of the world, or you are in Australia and just trying to navigate through your visa process, you need to be able to pay attention to this election because it is very important. Now, let me say this for a fact. Anything I'm saying here is my personal opinion, and it's based on the facts that have been littered all over the internet that I'm talking from. All right, but some of them are actually on record. All right, so guys, I just do hope that this video makes sense to you and you plan yourself properly if you're coming to Australia, or if you're planning to visit Australia, or if you're planning to actually, navigate through the Australian visa process. You should be able to start thinking about that. All right, do take care of yourself. And before I end this video, I want you to know that Australia is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. Australia is one of the greatest nations you can ever live in, and this country is really, really blessed. All right, take care of yourself and have a beautiful day. Don't forget to follow, like, share, and subscribe.